Moving to a new place can be so exciting, but it can also be really hard. Let's talk about it. Welcome to your English listening practice for today. I hope you can hear me okay because I just moved and my entire room is completely empty. And because I just moved, that's in the forefront of my mind right now. But I also know this is a time of transition for a lot of people. Maybe you're moving to a new area because you're going to a different middle school or a different high school. Maybe you've moved to a new city because you're going to college, or maybe you've just graduated from college and so you're going somewhere new to start your career. And yeah, it's so exciting to have a fresh start, a new chapter, but that can also feel really isolating and overwhelming and stressful. So here are 8 pieces of advice if you are starting over and moving to a new area. And like I said, use this as your opportunity to practice your listening and learn some new vocabulary words. My first piece of advice is to spend the first few days really focusing on your space. A lot of people, when they move to a new place, want to go out and try new restaurants and go to some scenic spots, go to a park. My opinion, however, is to spend more time focusing on your space at the very beginning. If you still haven't unpacked, a week later, a month later, you're going to start to feel stressed. Science has found a connection between clutter and disorganization and stress in our brains. So get your space in order as quickly as possible and try to make it as cozy as you possibly can. Think about the lighting, blankets, adding textures. Do some activities that are really cozy for you, like making a cup of tea, reading a book, or curling up with your favorite video game. If you feel that your home has become a safe, cozy place for you, then not only will your brain feel less stressed, but you'll feel more adventurous in going out to try new places and meet new people if you know that you can return home to your safe, cozy, organized, calm environment. The second piece of advice is actually one of the best pieces of advice I've ever been given. I got this piece of advice right after I moved to China, and someone told me, you need to make the city your own. Make the city your own. When you first move to a new place, it's really easy to go out with friends or go out with new people and have them show you places. It's really easy to get recommendations from locals or from people online. That's great at the beginning, but eventually you're going to have to make the city your own. If you only ever go to your friend's favorite coffee shop or a coworker's favorite restaurant, you're still going to feel like a visitor. So that means you need to discover your own places. If you have a car, just get in your car and drive around. If you're using the subway, just get off at a random subway station and walk around, see what's there. If you're walking or biking, explore. Find places for yourself. Find places that no other friend has recommended to you, because then it will feel like your place, your discovery. Every time I do this, when I go out and I explore new areas, I discover new coffee shops, I discover new parks, I discover new ways to get around town, I feel so much more comfortable and I feel so much happier in that area. And the times when I moved and didn't do this, I found myself feeling quite lonely or isolated or just disconnected from the place that I was living, because it was someone else's city, it was someone else's school, it was someone else's apartment complex. It wasn't mine. So go out, explore, discover, make the city your city, make the school your school, make the country your country. And piece of advice number 3, once you find your spots that you love to go to, become a regular. Now, what does that mean? That means that you always go to the same coffee shop or the same park or the same farmer's market. You go so much that people start to recognize you. When you walk in and the waiter remembers what you like to order, or the barista remembers which type of milk you always have with your coffee, it helps you feel a little bit more like you belong, like you're part of the community. Number 4, make a new routine. When you're traveling, when you're on vacation, you don't really have a routine. You can wake up at any time, go to bed anytime, and you usually do something totally different each day. But when you live in a place, you have a routine. So find out what your new routine is in your new place and integrate this with the city or the apartment that you're living in. Maybe every Saturday morning you go to your favorite coffee shop. Maybe every Sunday morning you go to the same park. Maybe every Wednesday night you go to that restaurant to have wings. Maybe every Tuesday night you curl up on your new couch in front of your window and read a book. Your brain loves predictability and routine, even if you don't think that you really love routines. It's what makes our brains and makes our mind feel comfortable, feel relaxed. So give your brain a break from all of the constant change that's happening. Give your brain something to expect and something to look forward to. And hey, if you go to the same coffee shop every Saturday morning, pretty soon they'll start to recognize you and you'll become a local. Number 5 is learn about this new city that you are living in. And I don't mean go to the library and you have to study and you have to read all of these books. Just watch some videos online. There are plenty of content creators who create videos introducing their city. Maybe they talk about the history of the city, or maybe they talk about some fun facts you didn't know about the city. Maybe they'll introduce some local shops or cafes. Maybe they'll give you more information about what the different neighborhoods are like. Maybe they share some ideas about what the locals care about or what they think about. Is there any special food or any symbols that are local or native to your area? Learning more about the city will really help you integrate. Along with that, number 6, play tourist. Become a tourist in your new city. Go to those museums, go to those scenic spots, try the food. Now, locals aren't going to museums every single day, but if you're a local person, then you probably understand the history. You probably did visit that museum when you were in primary school or elementary school. So going around to different scenic spots, museums, parks, historic places will catch you up with the locals so that you have a general understanding of the city the way they got that general understanding of the city just by living there. Here's a really small one that might depend on where you're living, but I really like to change my phone number and change my driver's license when I move to a new area. Here in the States, you can tell where someone is from based on their phone number. So I'm from Pennsylvania, so when I was a child, my home phone number started with 570. It's called the area code. So if I were to walk around today and tell someone that my phone number started with 570, they might not know where I'm from, but they would definitely know if I was a local or not, because if our area codes matched, that meant that we're from the same area. But if our area codes were different, it's obvious that I moved to this new city, to this new area. So when I move, I like to change my phone number so that I match the people around me. And legally, here in the States, when you move to a different state, you have to update your driver's license, and your driver's license is used as your ID. So anytime I show someone my driver's license, they know what state I'm living in. So if I am from Texas and I travel to California, anytime I show my ID or I say my phone number, people know I'm not from around here. And sharing your phone number and your license happens more often than you would think. If you're putting down a reservation at a restaurant, often you have to give your phone number. If you're going to a museum or maybe buying some products at a store, you might have to show your ID. And these are two small things that just make me feel more of a local person when I change them. And the last piece of advice is to say yes more than you usually do. When you've been living in a place for a long time, it's easy to get complacent. It's easy to get comfortable. Maybe you have the same routine with the same friends and you go to the same restaurants and you have the same experiences again and again and again. But when you move to a new place, that not only is your chance to try something totally new, try something totally different, but it's also a great chance to build community. So if someone invites you to a club or an activity or a party, just say yes. You never know who you're going to meet, and you never know what kind of experiences you're going to have in a new place. Even better if this is a repeated activity. For example, joining a walking club or a book club, or joining group lessons, or joining a group class at a gym, rather than just working out by yourself. Why is this so helpful? Well, because when you move to a new place, often you need to find new friends, and it's a lot easier to break the ice with someone that you have seen multiple times. So if I have seen the same girl at the same workout class over the last 2 weeks, it's going to be a lot easier to approach her and say, hey, what's your name? Where are you from? Do you want to get coffee sometime? Compared to walking up to someone at a museum you have never seen before and saying, hey, how are you? Do you want to get coffee sometime? So say yes to more activities. Say yes to more invitations, especially if it means you have the chance to see that person again and again and again and again. Because, hey, we're all busy, right? It's hard enough to fit in social activities to our busy schedule. But if you're going to the gym and I'm going to the gym, hey, it's easy for us to meet together. If you're going to book club and I'm going to book club, then it means we have an easy way to see each other every week. Because I just moved, I need to take these pieces of advice for myself, and I'm going to. Right now, I'm definitely working on setting up my space. I want my home to feel warm and cozy and safe, because I know that will help me feel more adventurous and more outgoing when I go outside to try to make new friends or have some new experiences. I also have been going around trying to discover new places, new restaurants, new coffee shops, new bookstores, because that helps me feel more at home in a new city. So how about you? Hopefully you got to practice your English listening and maybe you learned some new vocabulary words, but are you going through a time of transition? Are you going to be moving soon? Did you just move? Do you have any other tips or pieces of advice that you would share for someone who just moved and is trying to set up their new life? Let me know in the comments if you want to practice your English. Leaving a comment and chatting with people online is not only a great way to practice your English, but hey, you never know. You could make a new friend because of it as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.